had in the opening laps when he was climbing on the back of Rosberg's car and trying to get past him, but not really looking as if he was going to. But he has a bit of a hope here, because with Alboreto in front of the pair of them, he may just be able to hold Rosberg up enough to give Senna a chance to try and jump him. It's always an opportunity, no, but Alboreto, experienced driver that he is, has pulled out of the way, and he's pulled back in front of Senna, and Senna won't be pleased with that. Senna, uncharacteristically for him, that was no need for that to make the mistake. He pushed hard. You could see Alboreto wasn't going to be kind. And Senna was scrappy on Friday in qualifying, and in fact overdrove, if I can use that term, meaning that he tried too hard, was throwing the car around too much, and didn't get the fastest practice time, albeit only by 1,000th of a second behind Rosberg, but he was expected to. He was better yesterday in qualifying, but he's been uncharacteristically forceful in what, after all, is a long race, and forceful tactics in Grand Prix racing, particularly on street circuits, don't usually pay dividends. So Senna's driving has been a little bit scrappy, but that's why Jackie says he's got another 2 years before he's going to reach his peak, and that is true. He will, I can't see these sort of lumps of inexperience coming out in the future, but he's learning. He'll learn from this. He'll be able to look at his race afterwards and see that his forcefulness was possibly causing him trouble. I think he'd be better off if he'd driven just more quietly and smoothly. He would have been just as quick. Anyway, all is well. He's back on Rosberg's tail.
And Rosberg is catching Niki Lauda to lap him.
This happened. It's a replay. Ayrton Senna came up behind Keke Rosberg. Suddenly Keke Rosberg braked to go into the pits. Ayrton Senna hit him with his front wing, destroyed his front wing. Rosberg continued into the pits, and Ayrton Senna has gone off the track. He's gone off the track while this is live now. This we're back live to. It's in front of the pits. He's overshot the pit lane. He's in trouble. He's losing front wings. This team don't know what to do. They're smiling as if to say, what can we do about that? His left-hand front wing is hanging off. That was the replay. That was him going almost into the fence. How he avoided that, well, I don't think even he had a lot to do with it. It was just praying and getting round. Keep in mind that he was leading this Grand Prix when that happened, because Keke Rosberg had gone into the pits. Ayrton Senna is having a day of error, and there is Mark Sure's car, which is coming to a stop. He was in third position. What a lot is happening. Back to Murray Walker and James Hunt.
Brandon, he must go for the pits, but I'm surprised. At the really bad thinking race that Senna is doing.
Mark Sure out of the Australian Grand Prix. So let's take a cool breath and reconsider what has happened in those superlative 2 laps. Keke Rosberg is now catching Ayrton Senna, having been into the pits to get new tyres, and Senna in the stricken JPS Lotus is about to lose the lead that he fought so hard to gain, because he's got real handling trouble with no front wing at all, and Rosberg is just going to drive past him superbly. Look at him. Senna is trying, but not good enough, and back into the lead on lap 44 goes Keke Rosberg, who lost the lead on lap 41, and into the pits comes Ayrton Senna. Now let's watch some excellent pit work. If only that chap would get out of the way. Move. So there we are, Steve Hallam, the race engineer, talking to Ayrton Senna. And this young man is very, very cool, but look at the time he's losing. 15 seconds, 16 seconds, 18 seconds, coming up to 20 seconds. This has lost the race, I predict, for Ayrton Senna. The new nose is on, and let us hope that the wing is adjusted properly and not to affect the downforce. And now Niki Lauda looks as though he is moving up. He has. He's moved up into second place on lap 45. Rosberg leads, Lauda is in second place, and Senna is down to third.
Well, I have to say that Senna, brilliant though his driving has been, has heaped all these troubles on his own head. He has, I'm afraid, driven this race with his heart and without any use of his brain, but he's been sufficiently quick here that if everything is working well for him, there is an outside chance that he could still catch Rosberg. I would expect him to be a good 40 seconds behind him, but he could still give him certainly a very good run for his money if he just keeps it really smooth, keeps it on the limit, but keeps it smooth and cool, which is what he has not done here. It's quite out of character for him to have driven like this, but I'm sure he will learn a lot of lessons from this race if he thinks about it properly afterwards.
And there's the man, Keke Rosberg, on new race rubber, new tyres, and as he disappears round the other side of the circuit, Niki Lauda is coming through to start his 46th lap, and the gap between Rosberg and Lauda is now nearly 30 seconds. So Keke Rosberg must be praying for no mechanical problems, because that's about the only thing that can stop him now. A 30-second cushion with 36 laps to go is an enormous margin to an experienced campaigner like the world champion of 1982, Keke Rosberg, who really does look now as though he's on his way to his second win of 1985. A magnificently high note to leave the Williams team and go to McLaren and offer maximum opposition inside the team to his new teammate next year, Alain Prost. And there's Niki Lauda in second position now.
Yes, but Senna is not far behind him. He lost less time than I expected. There is Ayrton Senna. So he's got Lauda very much in his sights. And that is Jacques Lafitte in front that Lauda failed to get past to lap then. But Senna is catching him hand over fist. So Senna is there we have it, 35 seconds, or he wasn't started this lap, behind Rosberg. And I think that it is feasible for Senna possibly to be able to haul that back in on Rosberg.
Another well done to the organisers. At half distance, the time taken was 59 minutes 28 seconds, so it looks as though we're going to do the full 82 laps to within about 4 seconds. A quite incredible achievement, bearing in mind that the speeds had to be computed. And Niki Lauda now up behind, is it Lafitte? I'm sorry, I think it's Streff actually. It's Philippe Streff, the Frenchman. And meantime, with Streff holding up Lauda, who's in second place behind the leader Rosberg, Ayrton Senna is visibly gaining on the Austrian.
I should point out that Senna, as I say, was heaping these problems on himself, and the last decision, which was not to go into the pits immediately once he knew he'd lost a front wing and had already slid wide at several corners with a handling problem, that alone, by having to do another lap with no front wings on, plus the excursion, would cost him somewhere between 10 and 15 seconds on the road. So had he got in straight away, he'd never have been behind these two. And also, of course, he would have been in much better range to take a shot at Keke Rosberg. So Senna's relative inexperience has suddenly all come out at once. We haven't seen this side of him before.
Now, you know who the first three are. Rosberg, Lauda, Senna. You can see Lauda and Senna in your picture now as they come through to complete their 47th lap. But in fourth place is Michele Alboreto. Fifth is Derek Warwick in the Renault, and he hasn't been up there for a long time. And Senna has got ahead of Streff. In sixth position is Jacques Lafitte in the Ligier. Seventh is Capelli in the Tyrrell with a fine drive. Down to eighth goes Streff. Ninth is Gerhard Berger. 10th is Johansson in the Ferrari. Rottengatter, 3 laps adrift, is 11th. Mark Schurer, of course, is out of the race but was 4 laps behind. Is 4 laps behind now. And Ayrton Senna is trying to catch 3 times world champion Niki Lauda in his 171st Grand Prix. Lauda, that is. 25 wins behind him, being chased by the man with 2 victories behind him, Ayrton Senna. Continues as it shows every sign of going to be, as we look across at the Mount Lofty ranges, to be superb. Glorious visibility, magnificent heat, the haze shimmering off the circuit of parts, and Keke Rosberg is on his way. This